Hey everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here, and this is the match of the week. And this week we have got a rookie match now, but it's going to be an incredibly important match. We've got the rookie division title on the line between current rookie champion Bob taking on their challenger TimeAnomaly at rank 2. Both these players are notorious for OTK matches, so this is likely to be a quick one, or it's going to be an incredibly long one where they're both failing to get the job done. So let's just see what happens. Both are exceptional players and both deserve this opportunity, so let's see what happens. Bob, of course, is very expected to go into the pros should they win this matchup, as they are currently champion. And TimeAnomaly, of course, if they win, will get their first rookie title. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, both are incredibly strong, and obviously Bob is used to using a Starlit Monarch deck, which recently last weekend actually got the record for most attacks on board at 69, with 3 different Monarchs at 23 attacks apiece. Yeah, both can get pretty aggressive. I don't expect this to last long. Let's jump right into it. Just currently doing the mulligans now. We've got Zweistein doing their very first competitive match as a judge, so let's see how things go. The current pro champ is judging. Only Bedlam can result from this. Rolling a 2, TimeAnomaly's got first turn, which means Bob is going to be the first one to attack. This is looking already incredibly lethal. We've got a roll of 2. If TimeAnomaly plays nothing, they will be in trouble. Starhand right off the bat is incredible. It's going to get them a lot of cards from the deck into their hand, which is going to be awesome to survive these attacks. This is going to be an incredible matchup. Incredibly hyped. They've also got a bit of a weird rivalry. TimeAnomaly, of course, is into frogs, and Bob likes toads. So for some reason, that's just a rivalry they have. Starting off with the Starhand now. Starhand's going to allow them to search their deck up to 5 cards. For each card added, Bob is going to gain a health point. So this is really good for OTK decks to get the cards they need, as long as they have enough attacks to capitalize. Now, of course, TimeAnomaly is known for using Steel Edge, which does have multi-attacks, but they're going to need to really set up their Perish pile this turn if they wish to survive against Bob. Going with Templar, an incredibly new Templar now. It's going to send 2 cards from deck or hand to the Perish pile, which will set up the Perish pile of TimeAnomaly. So very well done on that play there. Bob is going to have a lot of trouble if they're trying to go for that OTK. I would expect they are trying to, but we could be surprised. So they're going to send 2 here, Cutter Disc and a Slicer Kit. So Cutter Disc is going to be really good for this, because when it's selected by Slicer Kit, it prevents that Templar from being popped. However, what they are not aware of is that Bob has a way to spin that Templar back into the deck, preventing it from being used as a defense. However, on top of that, we've already got Steel Edge in the Perish pile for TimeAnomaly, so that's incredibly good and does give them the ability to defend in this scenario. We're going to go Mechanism level 1. This is going to approximately get us into a level 3, which is going to be phenomenal against a Molten Monarch. This is going to be very interesting indeed. Of course, it can still be bounced back, but overall still incredibly good. Currently 4 minutes in the matchup. We're just trying to see some setup right now. We've got level 3, or level 1 as I say, hitting the field at class 3. Level 1 is going to grab a level 2 from deck, and then pop itself. And then level 2 can be played regardless of class, since level 1's in the Perish pile. And then once that's done, they can grab a level 3, sacking the level 2, and then they get a monster that's 2700 that can't be popped while in play. Incredibly nice. Yeah, like I said, these guys are exceptionally good, and the winner of this matchup is going to be slated to either enter the pros immediately or be on their way to pros after another tile defense. So now we've got Mechanism level 2 as expected. That's going to grab them level 3 again. There you go. Taking their time, working it through. Playing incredibly well at this stage. Yep, second that. Very nice opener. Now the reason this is really good is that because we have all the mechanisms in the Perish pile, once level 3 perishes, TimeAnomaly will have access to a card called Mechanism level 4, Phoenix. And what this card does is it allows TimeAnomaly to play it during the enemy's turn, so Bob's turn, and then board wipe them. Which for Bob would be horrible, considering their entire strategy is based on ganging up on the enemy with multiple Molten Monarchs at 23 attacks each. So I'm sure you can see where Bob is going to need to bounce that level 3 back into the hand or the deck. If they can't, they're going to be in a huge amount of trouble. Okay. Alrighty then, we just wait to see what else is going to happen. Are they passing it over? Of course they can't attack on the first turn. This is still incredibly important that they set up their asset pile here. Going into second deck. What else are they going to play? They're going to play a Blitz Magnum. Even more defense on top of that. It is a very good play here. Blitz Magnum is going to gain an extra 500 on the next preparation stages for each synergized card. And currently there are 4, which means it's going to gain a total of 2,000 in prep stage, making it 4k, which won't be enough to deal with a Monarch, but it's still a great boy to have on field. The most important thing now is, does TimeAnomaly run Savage Duel or Fate Carver Savage Duel Scythe? What this card does is basically would end the turn immediately and boost one of his cards in play, which is the #1 way to deal with the Starlit Walkers that Bob is known for. I'm going with card displacement right off the bat. Absolute ruthlessness. They're going to take a card from TimeAnomaly's hand and put it on the bottom of the deck. It is very clear this is already going to be an OTK matchup, as card displacement is only used for OTK strategies. What card do they end up putting back? Let's see. Just waiting now. I can't see, but I can hear them. Savage Duel Shield. Looks like it's going back to the bottom of the deck. Very good choice there. Which means Bob is expecting they may have to beat over some stuff. Savage Duel Shield is a great defense that is used. Oh, we're going into Sunwalkers! Here we go. I knew it was happening. Sunwalker and Starlit Wrath. This is going to be insane. Hold on. We got a response on the displacement. It's a counter card displacement! Holy smokes. I have never seen this before. A counter. That is amazing. Okay, when 2 OTK players happen, this is... or battle, this is what's bound to happen. Holy smokes. Sunwalker Flower goes to bomb the deck. Okay, interesting play there. Lucky 135 is another great searcher for this Sunwalker deck. This is probably going to grab an Ignition Fist or a Draco Fist. Both will extend into further Sunwalkers, which can then go into Molten Monarch. But we'll see. I think Ignition Fist is the choice here, because once you go Ignition Fist, you can discard it, draw some 2 cards, go into another Ignition Fist, draw 2 cards, and then you'll have all the Igneous in the Perish pile. There's Ignition Fist, as expected. Once you have those cards in the Perish pile, you get Molten Monarch. Molten Monarch can then duplicate itself while in play, thus giving it the 3 copies each at those amount of attacks. We just need to wait on if Starlit Wrath is a possibility. We're currently the second turn of the game. After 10 turns have passed, we'll enter a sudden death period, where if either player is wounded, another card displacement. Far out. Oh, they're sending Starlit from Time! Wow! Okay, so both players are running Starlit Wrath. We have never seen quite this 2 aggressive players go at it. This is going to be insane. For all we know, this could be Bob's last turn if they don't win. And they're passing it over. Okay, so Time's got the turn. They're gonna have to roll to see what they can get. If they can get that Starlit back into their hand, with Bob got nothing in Perish pile, they could quite easily get lethal here. If they can grab any Starlit, they can take him out. This is going to be huge. If TimeAnomaly can grab a Starlit Wrath, it is immediately over. But we're gonna see. See. Okay, so the roll is 4 for turn. Currently looking at their options. Blitz Magnum's going to get even more power. It'll be incredibly delicate. We don't know how this could go. Going to conflict. We're going to go for first damage out of 3. Not like it's lethal or anything, but something to be aware of as Starlit Wrath can be played at any point. They're taking all 3 damage. Okay. Okay. Bob gets the turn now. Can Bob end it this turn? Rolling a 5 is very good for Bob. 4 turns in and we are already looking at lethal. Going for Ignition Fist. This is going to give them a secondary Ignition Fist in the Perish pile. Ooh, no, it's going to give them the first Ignition Fist in the Perish pile, which will allow them to then grab a secondary Ignition Fist, which then allows them to go into Molten Monarch. And of course, Blitz Magnum is at a huge 8,000, which I don't know if Molten Monarch can actually deal with. But it looks like they're actually going to go from a Blaze Minotaur. And because the roll is 5, they'll actually get to play Minotaur, and they could probably kill, sack the Minotaur to pop the Blitz Magnum, which will allow them to then go in for the OTK. Okay, I'm just weighing up the options here. Okay. Adding a ton of cards now. Once they build up their hand, this will allow a card like Starlit Wrath to be played. What this card does is it gives a monster additional attacks equal to the amount of cards that are in your hand. Why is this important? Well, if you can get enough cards in your hand, you can have a huge amount of power coming through. So if you can get, as you can see now, they've got about 9-8 cards in hand, which means with the Starlit Wrath, it would add an extra 8-9 attacks, which means that if they could board clear, it would be lethal. Just waiting now. Sunwalker's Revival, that's going to send a Chimera 100%. And this Chimera, that's going to bounce back a card in TimeAnomaly's field. Level 3 goes back to the deck. Level 3 is going to go back to the deck. Just confirming now the level 3 cannot have, you have to sacrifice for it to be played again. But at the moment, level 3 is going to be bounced back into the deck, which means that level 4 is offline, which is what Bob needs desperately. Now, all they have to do now is deal with that Blitz Magnum, and once they do that, they'll have enough to deal with the Templar. So at that point, Bob has a couple options. They need to go for, I think Molten Monarch, go for the OTK, because they are running out of cards. Well, that's not true, but if the whole point of the Molten Monarch and Starlit strategy is to simply just get the win as soon as possible, as fast as possible, and otherwise they'll just burn out and run out of resources. So going for Hammer Down, Bringing Magnum back down to 2,000. That is a very interesting choice. Okay, so that's brought the Blitz Magnum down. They probably could have just used the Minotaur for that, but maybe they might be playing a bit more conservatively. I think we're going to see Molten Monarch hit field soon. There's Molten Monarch! Molten Monarch has hit field. This is the card that won Bob the Rookie Division tournament back in January, actually. So here we go. Molten Monarch is on the field. This is it. Here we go. You've seen it before. Shield Breaker, Burst Dragon Sword. That's going to raise it to 4,000. And the turns can't end due to tactical effect. That is huge right there. That is a very big play. 4,000 Monarch. Starlit Wrath hits the field. So how many have we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 cards in hand. That means it's a 10 attack Monarch. Holy smokes! Which is going, and they just milled a Pyrosquire, which is going to add even more attacks to the Molten Monarch. Holy smokes! So it's 11 attacks now. Okay, they're going to search now from the Bronco to grab the Pyrosquire. And they're going to use Molten Monarch to discard a card to duplicate itself in play, meaning we now have 2 Molten Monarchs at 4,000 apiece with 11 attacks each. That's not true. 12 attacks each. Holy smokes, 24 attacks in total right off the bat. This is what set the record of 69 attacks in total with a double Starlight activated on the next turn. We're going to sacrifice another Obsidian Hawk to get a secondary Molten Monarch to use its specialty, which means you have 3 Molten Monarchs at 4,000 with 12 attacks apiece, giving us 30 attacks, 36 attacks in total, with TimeAnomaly only being at a total of 10 health. They're in a lot of trouble. And all the Molten Monarchs get an extra 1,400 on top of that, making 3 5,400 Monarchs, which means in total, we are looking at 16,236 attacks as well on top of that in terms of additional. And this is insane. This is a combo that won them, obviously, the Rookie Division tournament. It took out the previous Rookie Champion in futile chances, and now they're going to see if they can use this to punch their ticket to the pros. We're going Molten Monarch. Here we go. We're going to Conflict. It's all or nothing for big time Bob. We're going for Blitz Magnum. Oh, it gets through. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any Fate Carver Savage Dual Scythe. Is this it? On the potentially the 4th turn of the game, or was it the 5th turn? Oh, we got double Titan Destroyer Swords. That's 6,250. Betting it all on this one play. Does he have the out? If he doesn't, he saved himself. Here we go. Oh, we're going for Secondary Chimera. This is crazy. Here we go. Secondary Chimera is going to bounce the Templar. Okay, so TimeAnomaly gets to draw 2 cards from that. But they're going to then use the Revival. Bob is going to use Revival to sack a Chimera, which will then allow them to bounce the Templar back into the bottom of the deck. This could be lethal here. Templar's gone. That's game! GG! Bob gets it done. We hear the forfeit from TimeAnomaly. Congratulations, Bob, on your huge win. We'll see if you want to go to the pros after this matchup. Well played, sir. That was an incredible matchup. See you guys later. This has been Tom.